Alright, what's going on? This is Pete over at SWR&C, Southwest Rod Custom. Now, I'm a big Volkswagen fan, you might say, and I love Volkswagens. But there's also a lot of other people out there that love Volkswagens as well. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch my breath. I've been working on this car right here that's been a nightmare, and we're trying to get her done. Alright, now that I caught my breath. But there's also a lot of other people out there that love Volkswagens as well. And the situation we have is my son grew up in Volkswagens. I restored a Volkswagen for him, and hopefully he's going to keep that Volkswagen in memory of me. So I had a visitor come over today. His name's John, and he's a Volkswagen guy. And well, let's listen to his story and see what the situation is with his Volkswagen. What's up, John?
I'm just getting this out of the car.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, do that. But what do you got there? What's going on? What kind of car do those go to?
These are from a Morgan.
A Morgan? Now, what's a Morgan, bud?
These are doors off a '64 Morgan. A Morgan is an English sports car. It's built in the old tradition with a wood frame body and sheet metal over the top. And I got hit in the rear in a parking lot by someone who took off.
Wow.
And left the car.
Now, you're talking about a classic car, 1960s.
64.
And he hit and ran you?
He hit it and left.
Yeah, hit and run.
Yeah.
And your insurance company, of course, said they aren't going to fix it, but you had a high-tech insurance company going on.
Right.
Wow. So are you fixing that up? You getting it back to normal, or what?
Getting it back to normal. These are the doors. All the metal panels are straightened out. I did it myself with a lot of work.
A lot of work, because you're a do-it-yourself guy, dude.
And about 10 times as long as a professional would have taken to do it.
Wow.
But it's done.
You're like the do-it-yourself guy, right?
Right.
Everything you do. Now you're basically a European guy. You like European cars, I presume. I mean, this is a European car, am I right?
Well, sort of.
Okay, where's the car from?
Car's from England.
Okay, English. But you also like German cars.
All right.
Volkswagens. Let's look at your Volkswagen. I'm sorry, what's that, bud?
I've had a lot of Volkswagens.
A lot of Volkswagens. So you're a Volkswagen head.
That's right.
Let's look at this Volkswagen. Tell us the story on your bug.
Okay.
Now, what year is this thing, John?
This is a 1969 Volkswagen. I got it for free.
You got it for free?
From a friend of mine.
Wow.
About 12 years ago.
Right.
His daughter had used it in college, and she hadn't missed a panel on this thing during the time.
Now, what do you mean, missed a panel? You're talking dented or?
Dented. Dented, crumpled, all.
So this car was basically junkyard material when you got it?
Pretty much.
Real close.
And it didn't run. So I decided I was going to restore it for my youngest son as a college graduation present.
So your son grew up in Volkswagens with you, working on them all your life, and you decided to go ahead and you were excited, and what happened, bud?
Well, I spent about 8 months restoring this car. Took it down to bare metal, did all the mechanicals on it.
Right.
Rebuilt an engine for it.
Okay.
And then I started to put it back together with the help of a friend of mine. The whole car was metal finished out without any Bondo or filler.
Metal finish. Now, what's metal finish mean?
Metal finish means hammer and dolly.
Hammer and dolly only. No Bondo, no nothing.
No filler at all.
Shrinking hammers and dollies and just...
It's a lost art. Now no one can do it.
Right. Everybody relies on Bondo.
Right.
So you restored this car using no Bondo, which is a plastic filler to fix dents. You completely restored the car for who?
For my youngest son.
You restored the car for your son.
This was his college graduation present when he graduated with his undergraduate degree.
And you were excited to give it to him?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because it was something that he could remember me by. And bond between us.
Because it was a Volkswagen thing between a father and a son.
And every time he would drive it, I would think that he would say,
He would be thinking about you.
My dad did this for me.
You were thinking when your son drove this car, you were thinking that every time he started up and he smelled the interior and turned the heater on and drove down listening to the AM radio, he was going to be thinking about all the good times of dad and son situations.
That's right.
Well, what happened?
Well, life goes on. My son, after he came down here and towed the car back to Michigan,
Right.
about a year later he decided to move to England.
He decided to move to England.
And he saw, he
Now,
had,
this is a year after you got it restored for him.
right, about a year and a half. And so he asked me if I'd go to Michigan and tow the car back to
Right.
here and store it away for him for a while. That was about 10 years ago.
So you've had the car for 10 years in your garage.
Right.
And you drive it every now and then to keep it going. Now, what's the situation now? What's going on? What's the story?
Well, my son, since that, he's gone on with his life. He's married. He has 2 really cute girls. And he just has lost his interest in Volkswagens.
Does that make you sad, John? Does that make you sad that you did this for your son as a memory thing to remember you by, and he's kind of neglected it?
No, I don't think he's neglected it. He's just moved on, Pete. I don't harbor any ill feelings about it. I think it's just that kids grow up, and sometimes they continue in the same areas that you have an interest, and sometimes they just drop it.
So what's your feelings about your son not really caring about the job that you did to this car and not really appreciating the father-son aspect of owning a vehicle that was basically restored by you to give to him as a present for life?
Well, he wants me to sell it.
Wow.
I still have it.
He wants you to sell it.
Right.
He'd rather have the money than the car.
Well, he
Is
thinks
that the angle here, or it's just...
No. I think he knows that it's been blocking my garage for quite a few years,
Yeah.
and he's not using it. I don't drive it enough to warrant keeping it up, and it may be time to move on. I have 2 other Volkswagens, so it's not like I'm going to be out of Volkswagens.
Yeah. Does that make you feel bad that you have to get rid of this car, knowing that you built it for your son? I mean, it's got to mean something to you.
Like I said, I still have the car.
Yeah.
I haven't put it up for sale seriously yet. It's a great car. I enjoy driving it. I enjoy the fact that I was able to do it for him, and it's a great car.
Wow.
And it's a way to show my love for my son.
And it's kind of to me, it's kind of a sad story, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is.
It's a sad story that you did all this work to this car, and it's basically just gone in the trash. I mean, your son only had it for what, a year?
A year or so, yeah.
A year. You know, he went to one car show with you with it, and he's never gone back to another car show again.
No.
Now, what year is your car, dude?
This is 1969.
Now, is there anything special about the 69 versus any other year?
It was given to me.
That's
why I restored the 69.
Yeah, I noticed you got some nice interior going on. I mean, this car's immaculate, dude. This thing is probably better shape than brand new.
My son had the car about a week, and he called me up and he said, "I'm having trouble with the car, Dad." And I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "I can't get the doors to show." He said, I push real hard and they won't close. And I said, "That's German rubber."
That's brand new airtight rubber going on there.
Open the vent window. When I try and close it here, it doesn't close.
Right.
Open the vent window.
There you go. Well, it's a beautiful car, John, and hopefully, maybe your son will realize that he needs to keep the car, and in memory of his dad. And if you have to sell it, I sure hope that it goes to the right person, and somebody really enjoys the work and love and compassion that you put into this vehicle. I don't think this car will ever see another dirty road.
No, it won't.
I don't think, even if you sold it, whoever buys this car will keep it as a museum piece, probably. Just a piece to drive on nice sunny days, kind of like today.
It's a great car. I don't like to think of it as a memory of me because I'm still here.
Right.
And hopefully for a few more.
Yeah, that is kind of hard to say that. I understand.
But I had a lot of fun doing it for him, and the thing that kept me going when I was restoring it for him was the fact that I knew that it would turn out great. And it's just it's a
beautiful
simple
job.
car, and it just looks nice. It's 12 years since I restored it.
Wow.
And it still looks good.
It looks like
still turned heads.
It looks like it just came out of the factory, dude. It looks like that's the kind of condition. Thanks a lot, John. Shake your hand, make a friend, and take
Thanks a lot,
care,
Pete.
dude.
Okay.
All right, buddy.